The Mishnah tells us in the beginning of Masechtas Rosh Hashanah, the Mishnah says, Arba Rosh Hashanah mein. There are 4 Rosh Hashanah. We skip to the end of the Mishnah. Be'echod Bishvat, on the 1st of Shvat, Rosh Hashanah le'ilon, Kedivrei Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel oimim b'chamisha asa boy. Tu Bishvat. So here we have the Makar for Tu Bishvat being Shtekal Yontef, Inyan of Rosh Hashanah. And there is a tremendous amount that we have to discuss Be'ez Hashem in the Inyan of Tu Bishvat, in the Inyan of Halacha, and in the understanding what the Yom is all about, B'siyata D'Shmaya. So we're going to start with a little bit of an understanding what is Tu Bishvat. Now I know in Chutz La'aretz it's not as big as a deal over here in Eretz Yisrael. Over here in Eretz Yisrael there are some places in America where it is, that's true. There's some places in Chutz La'aretz that it also is. But in Eretz Yisrael it's mamash yontef. You'll find people walking around with their bekishes, with their stramalach, there's tishim by the rebbes. It's mamash yontef. So we have to understand what is this Tu Bishvat all about. A lot of people grew up that, maybe in school they said a few brachas, whatever it may be. They ate a couple of pieces of fruit and zaykezin, slacha rabba, go on with your life. Tu Bishvat L'maisa is much deeper than that. And I think if we understand a little bit about the Yom, a bit about the day, so Mitzvah Hashem, Wednesday night, B'siyata D'Shmaya Ba Aleinu L'Tova, we will be having a gavaldige Tu Bishvat, and we'll actually understand what we're doing as well. So the first thing Chazal tell us is Ki Odom Eitz HaSodeh. Very interesting how a human being, an Odom, is compared to an Eitz HaSodeh, is compared to a tree. What's the comparison? So the Svarim HaKadoshim bring down the comparison being as follows. Just like a tree stands for decades and decades producing more and more fruit, so to ourselves, we may only be here physically for a number of years, but our offspring, our generations, that which we produce lasts a lifetime, lasts for many, many decades, and we have to ask ourselves, what are we producing? Are we producing that which we were created to produce? Just like a tree has to be nurtured, has to be worked on. You can't just plant a sapling and say, off you go, as I goes in, we'll see in a couple of years. It doesn't work that way. Every tree has to be nurtured, every tree has to be watered, has to be pruned, there are various avodas hakarka, there are various, agricultural laws that have to be applied to the tree, has to be worked in order to have beautiful, geschmack, juicy fruit. So to a human being also has to be nurtured. We have to be worked on. And that's why Ki Odom Eitz HaSodeh, we are considered to be like trees. Zug the Heilige Yismach Moshe by say. What's the pshat that Rosh Hashanah le'ilon is on Tu Bishvat? Says the Yismach Moshe. What happens on Tu Bishvat? What happens on Yud, on Tes Vav Shvat? So he says it's the zman of the chanota of the trees, of the pavers, which means when the fruits start to sprout. You're not going to see any fruit actually on the tree during Tu Bishvat, but it's when they start to sprout, and there's always a chashash that the owner is going to say, it's me! Look at what I did! Look at this beautiful tree, look at this beautiful fruit, this gavaldik, these juicy apples, these beautiful grapes, these oranges, these pomegranates, gavaldik! No. The person has to realize where everything comes from. The person has to realize where everything sprouts from, who's the owner of the world, and that's why they convey this day to be like a Rosh Hashanah, to remind the person. Just like a Rosh Hashanah, we come in front of the Rabbeinu Shalom that we were created by, and we give din v'cheshbon. So too, we come with our fruits, and we realize who's the master of the world, where everything comes from, and that's what the Yismach Yisrael says. One of the pshatim in the Minhag Yisrael, which is brought down in the Magen Avraham in Shin Chav Dalet Sivkot and Yud, to put food for the birds before Shabbos Shira. This week, Parashas B'Shalach, Shabbos Shira, the Magen Avraham brings down the Minhag to put down a little bit of animal food, bird food, for the birds on Erev Shabbos. You can't do it on Shabbos, you do it on Erev Shabbos. What's the pshat? Rabbi said, listen to this pshat, it's such a beautiful, beautiful idea. Have you ever noticed how little chicks, little birds eat? How do they grab their seeds? What they do is they're standing, they're walking, they're going, and they poke their head down, they pick the seed, boom, their head is up. Straight away, and it normally goes upwards in order for them to swallow that which they ate, right? The seed, right? It's an amazing thing. Just think about how the Rebbeinu Shalom created them. What's the message for us? Well, the message for us is that our parnasa. Of course we have to do ishtadlus. Of course we have to go out there. We have to do what we have to do in order to make a parnasa. But make the parnasa and look up. Just like the bird picks from the seed and immediately the head goes up, it looks heavenlyward, we have to do the same thing. we'll make our parnasa, we'll make our money. We have to do our ishtadlus, 100%. But then look up. Look up at who's running the world. That's what Tu Bishvat is all about. That is the yesod of Tu Bishvat. As I mentioned, it's a shtickle yontiv as well. Rashi brings down on the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah that after the time of Tu B'Shvat, most of the rain has fallen already and most of the sap is already up in the tree, giving the nourishment to all the trees. It's a gewaltige Sache. Many people start Masechtas Megillah on Tu B'Shvat because it's Shloshim Yom Kodem HaChag, 30 days before Purim, and a person can start learning the inyanim of the Megillah. Some people start Masechtas Megillah. Tzadikim and Rebbes would wear big day Shabbos on Tu B'Shvat. Mamish, Rosh Hashanah, as I stated in the Mishnah. Obviously, Shulchan Aruch in Kuf Lamed Aleph Sikot and Vav says that we don't say Tachnun on Tu B'Shvat because it's a Yontov, right? And then everything like that. The Rishon Rebbe, Rabbi said, the Rishon Rebbe. The Rishon Rebbe said that just like we need an Elul before Rosh Hashanah to prepare, to be Makabel, to get ourselves ready, so too we need a Shovavim before Tu B'Shvat. And that's why, because a person is judged on this day. Now, what's the minig? What's the minig of eating fruits? Right? We all know there's a minig, and Be'ez Hashem in the yeshiva, we're going to try to Mekayim the minig. We're going to try to Mekayim the Arizal Be'ez Hashem, the famous Arizal of 30 fruits. Be'esiyata D'Shmaya, we're going to try even this year to try Mekayim the minig. Where does it come from? So Magen Avraham brings it in some Kuf Lamed Aleph, Mr. Brewer also, that the minig of Ashkenazim actually comes from the Chachomim in Sfas at the time of the Beis Yosef already. So we're talking about a minig that was already come up by the time of the Rishonim, Beis Yosef being one of the last Rishonim, and this is brought down b'shem some of the Chachomim in Sfas at the time of the Beis Yosef. That minig is on Tu B'Shvat to eat a lot of fruits of the tree. Why? So we have a Yerushalmi at the end of Masechtas Kedushin, where the Yerushalmi says that a person is going to have to give din v'cheshbon of not enjoying the Rebbeinu Shalom's beautiful world. You're going to get to Shemayim, the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to say, did you go to my beautiful Alps in Switzerland? Did you see the most beautiful waterfall in Niagara, wherever it is? Did you see the most beautiful creations? It's the same thing, by the way, we've spoken about Daf Yomi, right? The Rebbeinu Shalom is going to say, did you see my beautiful Masechtas Cholin? Did you see my beautiful Masechtas Nadarim? No, I was just learning Yeshivish and Masechtas. No, but did you see my beautiful Masechta? The Rebbeinu Shalom created the most beautiful Masechtas, the most beautiful world. Did you look at it? Did you enjoy the fruit? Did you eat that grape? Did you eat that kumquat? Huh? We'll get to it. Be'ez Hashem, to Mekayim that Rizal's minig of 30 fruits. A person comes in din v'cheshbon. Why did Rebbeinu Shalom create the world for us? Rebbeinu Shalom created the entire world for us. Did you enjoy the world? Did you look back and enjoy the world? Okay, that's Tu B'Shvat.
Why do you create poisonous fruits? Fruits that you can't eat?
The other people can. The animals can eat it sometimes and they get nourishment from that. Not necessarily us, but other people can. And that gives us nourishment. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Now, the minig, according to the Arizal, is to have at least a minimum of 12, and some hold. I'll tell you Listen to this Maisa. Gewaldige Maisa. Rav Meir Arik said over this Maisa that when the Heilige Baal Shem Tov founded the Hasidic movement, so he actually received a summons in Beis Din to go in front of Beis Din in Brod. And the Beis Din over there was headed by Rav Chaim HaKohen Rappaport. And the Baal Shem Tov made the trip, mamish bang smack in the middle of the winter, together with one of his Talmidim, Rav Zev Wolf Kitzes. They were on the road, and the place was full of snow, and everything was desolate. There was nothing there. It was freezing, snow everywhere. It was unbelievable. It happened to be Tu B'Shvat. Now, the Baal Shem Tov obviously wanted to be in the Minig Yisrael, right? In the middle of a forest. There is no way they're receiving any fruit whatsoever. There's no way they're getting fruit whatsoever. How are they going to make a Shechayanu? Many of the tzaddikim like to try and make a Shechayanu on the day of Tu B'Shvat, which Be'ez Hashem we try to get to. So what the Baal Shem Tov did was he approached one of the leafless trees and he began to do some of the Rosh Hashanah davening. In the middle of this chanting of the Rosh Hashanah davening, all of a sudden the most beautiful, fresh, juicy dates sprouted on this leafless tree in the middle of the winter, in the middle of a snowy forest. Right? And he said a Shachiyanu and he started eating them. So could you imagine fresh dates in such a forest at this time of the year? It was unheard of. It doesn't make any sense. So one of the Baal Shem Tov's Talmud that was traveling with him, Rav Wolf, decided, they're going against the Baal Shem Tov. Here's the opportunity. Here's the opportunity to prove the Baal Shem Tov that the Baal Shem Tov is right. So what did he do? See, he took all of these dates and he put them in a box. He says, we're going to take them to the Beis Din in Brod, and we're going to show them who's boss. We're going to show them that Baal Shem Tov is a miracle worker. The Rebbeinu Shalom loves what he's doing, and he's able to do everything. Look at the dates. They come to the Beis Din, and he gets up and he says, I want to show everyone. I'm going to validate the Baal Shem Tov before you go against him. I'm going to show the Baal Shem Tov was right. He opens up the box, and there's just water there. There's just water floating there. There's nothing there whatsoever. So he came to Baal Shem Tov, he said, Rebbe, I was about to prove you right. I was about to show everyone. And the Baal Shem Tov said to him, you have to understand, we're not here in this world to perform miracles and to show that people that we're right. We're here to show and try our best in Avodas Hashem. And that was his Avodah on Tu B'Shvat. His Avodah on Tu B'Shvat was to do whatever needs to be done. We need fruit, we're going to get fruit. And that's the minhag. So, Rabbi Say, there's a lot to discuss. And there's an inyan on Tu B'Shvat itself, as we're going to say, talking about the inyan of eating fruit. But there's halachas also that we have to discuss as well. The inyan that's brought down is that the coincidence, although it's no coincidence, obviously, that Tu B'Shvat falls around the Zman of Shovavim. Shovavim we're speaking about Be'ez Hashem Sunday nights, but the inyan of Shovavim from Shemois till Mishpatim, which is a specific time for tshuva. And the reason for that is because on Tu B'Shvat there are many shaylas. A lot of people don't know these shaylas. A lot of people don't even know these shaylas exist. And therefore a person has a special siyata d'shmaya. The Yisod V'Shosh V'Avodah brings down. Yisod V'Shosh V'Avodah, by the way, was not Hasidish. He's one of the Ikar Talmidim of the Vilna Gaon. But he brings down at the end of his shtickle on Shovavim that he says during this time, you know what we have to work on? Brachas. Our kavana during brachas. And there's no coincidence that Shovavim comes together with Tu B'Shvat, because Tu B'Shvat is an opportunity that we can work on brachas, we can work on our inyan of brachas, we can work on recognizing where everything comes from. As the Maral writes in Gur Aryeh, the yesod of a bracha is to thank the Rebbeinu Shalom for everything we have. The Kaf HaChaim brings down the inyan of eating fruits on Tu B'Shvat. And the Kaf HaChaim, again, it's on Pikabala, whatever, and Arizal, and he explains that when a person makes a bracha on the fruit, he's blessing the Rebbeinu Shalom, he's blessing that which the Rebbeinu Shalom is making, and he's recognizing everything comes from Hashem. And therefore, Rabbi said there are three shaylas that we have to deal with, which Be'ez Hashem the next few days we're going to deal with. Shayla number one, which order do you have to eat fruits? That's shayla number one. Shayla number two, making a shechayanu. What do you make a shechayanu on? And shayla number three is Be'ez Hashem going to be the shayla of bedikas tolayim, making sure that we don't have bugs in our fruit. Again, all of these are nageya to the inyan of Tu B'Shvat, as we'll explain Be'ez Hashem. Tomorrow we'll start the halachas, but today we just want to understand what is the yom of Tu B'Shvat. Have a wonderful Gishmak day.